No, level 5.
You're in the level 5. So in
Yeah,
the level 5, you will have a different option. You will have a different option, right? So uh, that way you will know exactly where to go and what to follow, inshallah. Okay? All right, Bismillah. I will walk you through the whole process. Don't worry,
yeah.
inshallah.
Is my screen shared already or
No, no, just give me 1 minute. Let me,
okay, no.
1 minute. Let me open the file on my side. Yeah, when I saw your face, I said, Amir Riaz, I may have seen you gain a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
Looking healthy, mashallah. Looking healthy. Okay, Bismillah. The fact you went to the Amazon for an interview is an achievement in itself. You will get through. Don't worry, inshallah.
Yeah.
You will get through,
They also
inshallah.
told me to draw some infrastructure given like a long scenario. They told me to compute the cost and stuff like that.
Oh,
I was
this is
ready for that to be honest because I was preparing. They gave me some instruction, but it's just a scripting. It was
yeah.
20 lines of code alerting the system if there's any intrusion. You would have like 400
It's like
computers, IPs, and stuff like that within one script.
you would have done it like if you would have known like the I. So they ask you for the infrastructure as a code. Write down the script of how you will protect
Yeah.
the what services, so on and so forth.
I did that in DevOps, but it was like 4 or 5 months ago. So
You
it was a
forgot
bit,
about it.
yeah,
It was a bit rusty.
it was a bit rusty. I was managed to write a code, but it was like not efficient.
Yeah, I mean, don't worry, inshallah. I mean, were they doing it in front of you or how? How were you doing it?
Just sharing the screen, so like like the whiteboard. So
Okay, that's where you have to do it. Okay, inshallah. There are certain chunks in the code which are standard, and then there are certain things like which are dynamic. So if you would have been practicing, I mean, you have to practice, because if you don't, then
yeah,
you'll be rusty, right? Once you're in, then you have to keep on practicing and going for it, inshallah. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Uh, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So today is May 20th, Tuesday, 10:46 a.m. on my side of the world, Eastern Time. We have Amir Riaz. Uh, I remember, Amir Riaz, you did Masters in Data Science from uh, Coventry
correct.
University, first class, right?
Yeah.
MashaAllah. And then Coventry University, BSc in Electrical Engineering, again, first class, right? MashaAllah.
Yes.
Uh, okay. You came to us long ago, I remember,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so Bismillah. There are certain things you have to update on your resume that will make it better, inshallah, and then you will be able to go further and deeper. Bismillah. So today your topic is pretty straightforward. Uh, you know, the topic covers Bismillah, safe cryptography and data privacy compliance in cloud infrastructures, right? The key learning objectives are design quantum safe cryptographic systems for cloud infrastructure security, ensure compliance with data privacy regulations using encryption and access controls, and implement cryptography solutions that protect against quantum computing threats. The presentation is pretty straightforward. Propose a quantum safe cryptographic model that protects sensitive data while ensuring GDPR and CCPA compliance. CCPA is like for California, right? And GDPR is for EU. There's a big push towards compliance, especially now since we have Trump presidency, right? Just recently, today, Prime Minister Stramer signed a deal with EU, right? And this is one of the biggest deals that they have signed because they will be investing heavily in cybersecurity and infrastructure, working closely and in collaboration with their European partners to build up a digital, infrastructure pathway, right?
Yeah.
So good opportunities for you, inshallah, to explore. I will walk you through all of those things, inshallah, after the presentation. It's a pretty straightforward. You will have minimum 15, maximum 25 minutes to present your topic. After that, there will be a Q&A where we will go through some, in total of 10 questions to understand where you are, what you do, and what is the depth of your understanding with respect to the topic that you're presenting. Okay, are you ready?
Yes. Is my screen visible or?
Please share it, inshallah.
Okay. Hope it's visible.
I can see your screen. Okay, Bismillah. Let me start the timer. I will let you know. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
So I'm just looking at. I'm looking at my left because I'm using the screen.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Okay.
okay.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So today I'm presenting quantum safe cryptography and data privacy compliance in cloud infrastructure. So EduQual exam level 5 diploma in DevSecOps. So a prudent approach to navigate a modern day cryptography in line with data privacy and quantum threats it imposes. So if I move on, so the agenda for today's presentation is introduction to quantum computing, the quantum threats, and the post-quantum cryptographic solution, data privacy in line with GDPR and CCPA, the compliance challenge in the current encryption environment, and how we can navigate through them to secure a compliance in future. Building a design with a cloud native, integrating the PQC, and look through the solution crypto agility, which would be more sensible for current landscape. And so, yeah, so quantum computing. What is quantum computing? Quantum computer is basically a powerful machine which uses qubits, unlike the classical computers where we use bits 0 and 1. So in quantum computing, we use qubits where 0 and 1 can exist parallelly, which generates a multiple hundreds and thousands of possibility at once, which gives quantum computer more computational time and it exceed the time for them to compute the solution fast. So it's uses or leverages the principle of superposition and quantum entanglement, quantum interference. So superposition, think of it like flipping a coin in the air. While it's in the air, it's spinning. It would have it would be in the state of head and tails existing parallelly. So that's exactly the same thing happens with the qubits. We have multiple possibility at once. Entanglement, where two qubits are entangled together, and it would affect the movement or positioning of the other automatically. Interference, where it increases the pattern, remove the errors, and give us an enhanced answer or the outcome. And then moving on, we have what are the quantum threats in the modern cryptography. The main threat is the Shor and Groover algorithm of quantum computers. Shor algorithm breaks the asymmetric encryption such as RSA, ECC, or DSA. It solves complex problems of factorization within no time. So it would break the asymmetric encryption and in a polynomial time. And with the Groover algorithm, it threats to our private encryption. It will have the AES 256, it would weaken it, but it won't possibly break it for now. To tackle that, longer encryption keys would be a viable option. So effect currently on modern day cryptography with the rise of quantum threat is obviously asymmetric public keys can be compromised. It threatens the TLS communication system, digital signature, blockchain wallets could be at risk, and any sensitive data which are stored using current encryption, such as health data, financial data, and any defensive and government secrets are at risk. Some facts that I conducted from my research was quantum computer would take a minute or hour to break a modern day encryption, whereas it would take probably a billion years for a classical computer to break. And according to the NIST, this breach could be coming as soon as by 2030 or earlier. So moving on, so what's the solution? The solution currently we have is post-quantum cryptography, which includes lattice-based, hash-based cryptography, code-based cryptography, multivariate. So these are some of the quantum cryptography solutions we have, which would resist the quantum attack. So some of the NIST-approved standard includes crystal Kyber, which is a key encapsulation mechanism type of algorithm from the lattice-based family, crystal dilithium, which normally used for digital signature, Falcons and Sphinx, again used for digital signatures, lattice-based, and Sphinx is a hash-based. And the other alternative we have currently is quantum key distribution. It uses a terminology of quantum mechanics, sending a message, encrypt a message through sending a photons particle, and it transmit data using photons to exchange the keys, and using no cloning algorithm, which help in any intrusion or eavesdropping. It alerts both the sender and the receiver. And implementation of quantum key distribution could be, again, in the financial industry, defense sector. And one of the con of using quantum key distribution is obviously the infrastructure is not fully built currently, and is very expensive and needs a lot of resource to implement this. It uses protocols such as Heisenberg uncertainty principle, BB84, use polarization of photons to encrypt the message. Again, any intrusion cause an alert. E91 creates a random keys and add extra noise into the encrypted message, which confuse the intruder. A decoy state improved version of Heisenberg uncertainty principle adds the fake signal to confuse the any intruder or hacker. So the coming towards the part where I spoke about the GDPR and CCPA. So GDPR is a General Data Protection Act, implies on any organization which is processing data of the EU residents. It mandates the businesses to encrypt any personal data of EU residents regardless of the location where they're operating from. The core principle include lawfulness, data limitation, fairness, privacy, and follow the CIA. Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And the significant part of GDPR is Article 32, which state that security should be implemented from day one. It ensures that personal data must have to be encrypted at any cost. Any failure who is non-compliant could face hefty fines, such as 2% of their global revenues. Similarly, CCPA, California Consumer Privacy Act, which is very specific to, again, the residents of California. And it gives a right to the consumer to have more power on their data, to amend, delete, erase the data. Again, any breach could cost the organization hefty fines, prosecution, etc. And so current encryption and their effect on the compliance. As we discussed, current encryption secures the data at rest in transit, which resist intrusion or breaches. But again, we have the quantum computing, the attack coming from the quantum computers. Shor algorithm is threatening the encryption. And we use terminology, harvest now, decrypt later. Intruder or hackers, they can save the private keys in today's day and age. And after 5-10 years, when quantum computers are more mature, they can decrypt those private key and steal the data. And obviously, it will lead to a compliance failure, as it would breach the integrity of the data. So how could we meet compliance securely now or in the future? I would say, is implementing hybrid cryptography, which is a more resilient and sensible option in current landscape, considering the maturity of the quantum computers and advancement of the quantum computers. Using current encryption, adding extra layer of quantum cryptography solutions. For example, using dilithium with EEC for a signature-based property or resources, using Kyber to secure the TLS communication channel, and the next step would be secure a critical component within the infrastructure, securing data at rest with Kyber. Again, data in transit, and we can use the same thing with digital signature, as I explained. Gearing up with the open source readily available option, implementing open source libraries such as OQS, using hardware systems, using AWS KMS, and Azure Vault, which would be giving a support, enabling their support with the post cryptography solutions, and update everything in compliance documentation while implementing them. So this way we can stay ahead and be updated with the compliant requirement. And lastly, to adopt and monitor, keep on monitoring, logging all the activities, using resources with the cloud native or AWS, and keep up to date with NIST standards to make sure that whatever the current algorithm they are enforcing or in the future, so we are updated with that. So this is a high-level diagram or a flowchart which demonstrate how can we build a post-quantum solution, cloud-native robust infrastructure, integrating the PQC solutions. So here, if you take an example of building a house, imagine like AWS is a land we are hiring to build a house. And in there, we are building rooms, cabinets to store the data, So we are such as using resources like S3s, RDS, and using Istio Mesh as a manager, security manager for a secure communication, and keeping the keys secure using the post-cryptographic solution, such as using AWS KMS. And the whole house is monitored using security cameras, such as monitoring, auditing, logging, to meet the compliance, to making sure people in the house are following the law of the government. Just to dumb down the concept, I just gave this example. And diagram on the left, it basically shows exactly the same thing, but more like implementing the application in the live environment. A user, let's say, comes in the application, and load balancer approaches, direct them to the right pod or to the right location. And when they come through, it's all the communication is secured with the post-cryptographic enabled TLS. And the old services again is encrypted and secured with Istio mesh service. Again, we implemented the the post-cryptographic solution with mutual TLS. The sensitive data is secured in S3 buckets, RDS. They're all implemented with cryptographic solution. And again, everything is monitored to stay secure and compliant. We use those resources like CloudTrial, Amazon Guard Duty, etc. And again, so it's exactly the same thing here, using AWS KMS to secure our S3 buckets, which is enforced by the identity access management, which decide who can access the resources based on their roles. Here we have demonstrated the hybrid encryption, as I explained previously, placed on public subnet in segregated using the VPC environment. So the only solution right now, the viable solution I personally see, is crypto agile environment, where again, as I've discussed, a hybrid solution where we can switch. We gain a backward compatibility, implementing both current encryption and post cryptographic solutions. So we can prepare our infrastructure by discovering and inventing all our resources, making sure we implement encryption where it is required, or wherever encryption is implemented, but in its further improvement, we make sure we do that using the tools we can use a tool such as AWS Maze, Azure Purview, and build robust infrastructure, avoid hard encoding, segregate the resources, apply best security practices, use separate cryptographic logic, and define your scope. Again, we can use open source liboqs tools like AWS KMS, and use open source libraries. We can use hardware such as HSM to store data. Use trusted, secure, centralized, automated key system. We make sure that we are rotating the keys. Also automate this process so we do not have human intervention, which avoid the chances of error. And in the last, testing, monitoring, and adaptability, simulate and test our system before implementing, and making sure whether it's compatible with our systems or not. Carry out frequent audits to see if everything is in place and everything is running smoothly, and follow up with the NIST standards for any future updates. And final thoughts, in my opinion, is quantum threats or quantum computing is still something still in the womb, which is about to deliver soon. It's on the verge and knocking on the door, which can break in any time. So we should be prepared beforehand. And currently, all the solutions, we can say they're still in simulation. They're not widespread implemented on the ground levels yet. They're still widely used on by these all big tech giants on a simulation environment in a very experimental phase. So currently, as I explained, crypto agility is one of the best options. It's not the best option, but for now, it's one of the best option to comply with data privacy and to be able to secure ourselves in a current landscape, as it acts as a double line of defense. If one fails, it rolls back. And yeah, so currently, again, we have more than 100 quantum computers built in by tech giants such as IBM, Google Cloud, Intel. Yeah, so that would be the end of my presentation.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Very good
Yeah.
presentation. To the point, and mashallah, it covered all the key aspects that I was looking for. Okay, you can stop the screen and I will go through the Q&A session, inshallah. So it's a very loaded topic, right? As you know,
Yes.
this is a developing field. So many things happening around the globe.
Yep.
Now we have another thing, quantum computing coming. It's on the horizon. There are organizations are now they are now dealing with in terms of adoption of AI, but now they're thinking, wait a minute, even if we implement AI, our encryption still dates back to classical encryption. So what happens if our competitors start deploying, quantum computing against us, right? So this is a question I'm going to start with, right? So, and this is a very interesting thing which is happening. Explain, how harvest now, decrypt later, attack scenario in the context of quantum threats. What
So
does it mean?
harvest. So yeah. May I speak?
Yeah, please.
So harvest now, decrypt later is basically means current encryption private keys could be stored now, as I explained. And when quantum computer arrive and it matures, they can decrypt it. So such as blockchain wallet, public keys could be decrypt when it's actually in use. So that's how they can. It threatens our current encryption, such as using Sure algorithm. It will.
So let me ask you.
Yeah.
You mentioned keys.
Yeah.
Harvest now, decrypt later. Are we going to use that on the keys, or are you going to do that on the data, encrypted data? I mean, as an attacker, what am I going to store?
The keys are basically used to encrypt the data. So it would be the data, but obviously it's like a lock. So they would basically
attackers need, so the attackers need to store the data, right?
Yes, so they will decipher the code of the lock, open the lock, and get the things out of the lock.
Got it.
So like data.
Yes, I mean, attackers, what they have started doing now is like they are storing encrypted data now with the expectation that future quantum computers be able to decrypt it once they become powerful enough, right?
Yeah.
I believe in Cambridge or in Oxford, they have tested this out. Quantum computers are very expensive. In Canada, we have one company known as D-Wave who has it. In US, one of the organizations, IBM and a couple of others have it, like Google has it, AWS has it, They're all working on different aspects. Microsoft is also working on this front as well. D-Wave and IBM had a head start, so they were working on those things for quite some time. But other organizations are doing it as well. One of the most intriguing thing that I've seen is like one of the researchers at Oxford or Cambridge, I can't remember because I read the paper a few weeks ago. They are using and combining, different sets of computing power to piggyback and build up enough energy to mimic a quantum computer, right? So that's what they're doing. It's pretty intriguing concept. Like there's so much computing resources that are available, right? So if you can tap all of them together, can you go at that stage? That's what they're trying to do. So this is one of the things that the hackers have started doing it right now. And they have this expectation that quantum computers will be available. Now, just like any other thing in the market, quantum computers will be available through cloud providers, APIs, right? So as soon as like these cloud providers start providing, okay, you can use these quantum computers, and in some cases you can right now through the cloud computing, platforms, the hackers will be able to decrypt the data. They've already started doing that. In the underground circles, we are seeing a lot of encrypted data piling up. So they're keeping up these copies. Okay, so what principle allows a qubit to represent both 0 and 1 at the same time?
Superposition, as I said, example of flipping a coin in the air
Mhm.
while it's spinning in the air. That's what exactly qubits behave, giving hundreds and thousands of possibility, maybe 1 second or microsecond. So the other principle is entanglement and interference, which helps them speed up their process like, exponentially. So
That's good. Good,
yeah,
mashallah. Okay. What is the purpose of quantum key distribution?
the purpose of quantum key distribution is to generate keys, uh, generate keys and distribute them. Uh, so if any intrusion happens, it would alert sender and receiver.
So the QKD is to securely generate and distribute encryption keys using
Yeah,
quantum key principle, such
yeah.
as what principle? Two principles.
Uh, Photon,
The principles are like no
Heisen,
cloning and Heisenberg. Yes.
Heisenberg, no cloning, and Heisenberg, yes,
Okay.
which uses BB890 protocol to.
Okay. How does a peak? Your topic is at level 5. I can't go deeper
Yeah,
because level 5, I have to touch questions at level 5. I prepared questions at level 6.
that,
Right?
yeah.
That's okay. So explain like how does a PQC, post-quantum cryptography, ensures data confidentiality in a future-proof system?
Um, could you repeat the question again? Sorry.
So, the quantum era is upon us. It's already here,
Yeah.
right? What organizations are doing to, ensure that the confidentiality of the data is future-proof from the quantum computing processing, right? Because the quantum computers have the capability to basically disrupt and decrypt their data, the classical encryptions, right? So how are they future-proofing their systems?
Implementing the algorithms, the NIST standardized algorithm, lattice-based, hash-based, um, such as um, such as the dilithium, uh, crystal kyber, Falcon. So what they do is they base on mathematical problems such as if I give example of kyber, it
Yes.
uses learn with error algorithm, which adds extra noise, which becomes quantum computer extremely hard to extract the message. And similarly with dilithium, it uh, uh, it uses learn with error plus SIS algorithm, short integer solutions, which confuses quantum computer
They're using mathematical problems to
method to
create resistance to a quantum
yes,
attack, right?
yes.
Okay. In your diagram, uh, you know, the diagram layer includes PQC enabled TLS, right?
Yeah.
What AWS services are directly involved in that?
PQC TLS uh, service involved.
So, what services are available right now on AWS
Yeah,
for a post-quantum cryptography enabled TLS? You know, everyone uses TLS, right?
yeah,
It's the backbone of all the encryption in the world,
yeah.
right?
Route
You
53.
call it HTTPS, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, what uh, services are available right now which are PQC enabled? That includes PQC enabled TLS.
Um, Usually we use Route 53 in AWS.
Well, that's for DNS.
Uh,
Yeah, that's for just for DNS, right?
um,
Let me help assist you with that. So the cloud native app layer
yeah,
includes you know AWS Amazon EC2
yeah,
that has that. AWS KMS, Key
yeah,
Management System has that. IEM and Amazon S3. If you combine all of four of these services together, right, the cloud native app layer, they have the built-in PQC enabled TLS in there. That
yeah.
utilizes again the same, you
Um,
know,
is it
since
mutual TLS,
which one? Sorry, which one?
mutual TLS.
Mutual TLS. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can use OpenSSL with uh,
Yeah,
uh,
I mean, OpenSSL is also working on that. Yes. Okay. So, which PQC tool is suggested? In your presentation for secure digital signatures in transit, and what does it replace?
oh, so can you repeat the question again? Sorry. Just,
In your presentation,
yeah,
the PQC tool is mentioned, right?
yeah.
What are you using to secure digital signatures in transit, and and what does it replaces?
Uh, we You can use the lithium um, to secure the data.
It has two wings and it flies. What do you call it?
Uh,
Have you
Bird?
seen the Have you seen the no? Have you seen the cartoon Silverhawks?
No.
No. Uh, so like, have you? This is a very famous poetry about Allama Iqbal, right? Do you know about that?
Yeah, Shaheen's
Shaheen. What do you call it? Shaheen.
Falcon.
Falcon. Falcon is the
Falcon.
tool.
Yeah, Falcon is the tool. It for digital signatures. We can use it in the compact devices because it's very fast. Uh, Also, it uses a smaller signature. We can implement it for the complex devices. Very
Right. So
fast
Falcon replaces the
verification.
ECDSA,
Yeah,
elliptical cryptography
yeah,
signature algorithm for
yeah,
post-quantum secure digital signatures, right? That's what
yeah,
they use right now.
yeah.
Okay, let's jump on to some of the tougher questions, right? So from the architecture diagram that you've shared, describe how PQC integrates across the CI/CD pipeline to production workloads. You mentioned some of the stuff, OpenSSL, some of the
Yeah,
other things. How do you ensure the PQC is enabled, is integrated, right,
yeah.
into the CI/CD pipelines?
Uh, we can use open libraries, liboqs,
Yeah,
with OpenSSL, boring SSL in combination, which would give more security and extra layer.
mashallah.
Um, yes, and
Good job.
yeah.
Yes. Right. Go ahead. Go ahead. What else?
Um, um, is
These pipelines, so you mentioned PQ C can be integrated with OpenSSL and the liboqs libraries
yeah,
into, CI/CD pipelines, like which are code build, code pipeline in the AWS.
Yeah.
These pipelines can then deploy encrypted components into the microservices, right?
Yeah.
Given the vulnerabilities of asymmetric encryption, the whole world relies on RSA and these asymmetric encryptions, right? Protocols. Given the vulnerabilities of asymmetric encryption outlined in the flow diagram that you mentioned, how would an enterprise design a crypto agile fallback mechanism?
Uh,
How would you design a hybrid encryption system?
so basically, what I will do is I would use current encryption, and then add a layer of cryptographic on top. So what I would do is I would use, let's say, crystal Kyber for key distribution or for encryption, dilithium for signature, or Falcon based on the scalability of the app or whatever the system is. And I would I would use RSA with them. So in this way, uh, any failover, it can switch easily between encryptions, and it
You know,
makes it agile.
we have designed labs on these things. Do you want to do these labs?
I would love to, but I tried to simulate something, but it was out of my like it was bouncing off my head. Like, these.
We have them. So we have created these labs step by step. How to
Yeah,
use ECC plus dilithium, periodic key rotation, how to do it, open source crypto libraries, example, the liboqs you mentioned. Everything is there.
yeah,
And if you make a mistake, the AI will assist you. You
yeah,
know, that's in part two of Al Razak, right?
yeah. I mean, I
Uh,
did research on. I was trying to use it, trying to get my hands on, but online, there's a lot of confusion.
yeah.
It wasn't very clear, so I was getting confused. So I was like,
I'm
let's
going to
just.
show you something at the end, which
Yeah.
which will decide if you want to use this topic into your. Have you completed the KYC process?
Uh, I think I did long time ago.
No, at that time there was no, it was not. KYC is. I have to check. I saw your folder. Let me see, because the folder is in front of me, Amir, right? Uh, Amir, KYC
Yeah.
data. There's a basic information you have provided, right? That's just basic information.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to. There's identity verification. Yes, we have your passport copy, stuff like that. But you have to complete a couple of other things, right?
I
You have to
would.
select, you have to show me, you have to select the data, the fields that you want to go. We
Okay.
can give you so many, there are more than 250 tasks in quantum computing. If you do that, you can be a quantum engineer. There's
Yeah.
also step-by-step learning process for learning the quantum languages, which are being used right now, right? So it covers everything. It's a very, because I built these labs myself, right? First I designed the topics, then I designed the labs. And
Yeah.
the AI is there to assist you as well, because I can't sit with everyone, right? But the AI is there to assist you, inshallah. So it'll be a fascinating thing. If I show you the presentation on the shores log, right? That we have explained the whole show, because like uh, there's now a new system that will teach you all the things, right, from scratch, and tell you how does it really goes, right? So I'm going to show you that at the end, inshallah. Don't worry. Okay, let's jump on. So which quantum attacks makes TLS-based sessions most vulnerable? And how you can use PQC-based TLS as a mitigation?
Again, could you repeat it? I'm really sorry. I'm just
Now,
a bit nervous.
quantum computing, there's a lot of,
Yeah.
so in quantum computing, what can you use to attack the TLS-based sessions? I already answered that question to you when I was saying something a few minutes ago.
Sure algorithm
Yes.
that would break the TLS,
Mhm.
as obviously is very general for the asymmetric. It's a threat to the overall asymmetric encryption. So that would break the TLS, and to secure it currently, as I said, crypto agility would be the best option, as we are very unclear on the advancement of quantum threats yet and the solutions.
Yes. So the Shor's logarithm is one of the things that you can use to completely decimate the TLS-based sessions, right?
Yeah.
Mitigation, you can use implementing PQC-based TLS using OpenSSL.
Mm.
Integrated with OQS, open source quantum safe, open quantum safe.
Yeah.
And that's how organizations and transitioning to algorithms like Kyber for key exchange and Falcon dilithium for digital signatures, right? Yes, we will have quantum computers in the next 5-10 years, easily accessible, right? However, like there will also be, back in 2017, quantum resistant network devices. So these were devices that were creating a lot of noise and encrypting the data, and with a lot of noise in them, that if an adversarial state or non-state actor is able to pick up the data, they can't make any sense of it, even if they use some computers. So it was essentially quantum resistant encryption implementation.
Okay.
Okay, so the next is our final stretch. So how does no cloning theorem, underpins the security of QKD protocols in a multi-cloud architecture? So what does it do?
How does QKD no cloning theorem would could you repeat that?
How does the no cloning? Yes. So let me break it down. So how does the no cloning theorem, right, underpins the security of QKD protocols in a multi-cloud architecture? How does it underpins? How does it ensures that multi-cloud architecture using QKD is secure?
Is secure. Okay. So with QKD, it uses the photon based mechanism to distribute the keys. So any intrusion would alert the eavesdropping by.
So explain to me, first of all, explain to me the no cloning theorem.
No cloning theorem is nobody would able to replicate the key. Any changes in the key would alert the eavesdropping, or it will
Essentially, the no cloning theorem ensures that any attempt to duplicate a quantum state
quantum
during
state.
transmission results is detectable.
Yeah. So
Purpose,
it
right?
would. It would. Basically, if somebody tried to any intruder get in try to clone it, it would disturb the light, the photon, and it would obviously alert the eavesdropping and to the sender and the receiver. And in the you asked about the multi-cloud.
So in a multi-cloud system, in the multi-cloud system aspect, if you use the no cloning theorem, how does it ensure the security and the integrity against attacks like distributor services region attack or prevent man in the middle attack, something like that? How does it ensure that? Okay, so it's okay. Let me ask you another one because you're in a good flow. In the diagram that you shows, right? And if you have to interpret the function of the monitoring and compliance layer, right?
Yeah.
In the AWS PQC diagram, and list the services it integrates. What services would those be? I already mentioned some of them here. Just tell me the stuff. You can go and visit the diagram if you want to see it.
Yeah, AWS Cloud Trial, guard duty,
Yes.
and and we can use Prometheus and Grafana like open source for monitoring and logging. So these are the things we can use for monitoring and logging to meet the compliance. AWS Inspector, Security Hub, AWS. So these are the resources we can use.
Okay, good. Okay, we are done. I'm just compiling the results, okay?
Okay.
Bismillah. Okay, mashallah, you scored in the presentation 24 out of 25. Very good score, mashallah, okay? The communication skills, the presentation, the topic, everything was expressed very clearly. The use of visuals and all of those things. In the Q&A, you scored 21 out of 25, right?
Okay.
So you scored altogether 90%. So that's
Alhamdulillah.
you are in mashallah in the upper 2%, right? As compared to anyone else. I was not expecting anything less from you. First class all the way, right? Mashallah. Here's my recommendation for you, okay? Bismillah. So these results will be compiled and will be sent to you. I'm going to show you something very important today, okay?
Yep.
Because you need to understand these things because they play a very critical role in how you will position yourself and how you would go further, right? This is
Yep.
very important for you. You did your degree, right?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you some painful questions. Sometimes
Sure.
pain is important to, go through, right? How much did you pay for this whole degree that you did?
Uh,
Bachelor's and
it's,
master's combined.
yeah, can't remember, but it's through the student service. So 30K for, I would say, undergrad, and 10K for masters
This is as a British citizen, right?
as a British citizen. Yeah.
So 30,000 pounds for 3 years of bachelor's
Yes.
and 10,000 pounds for your master's. Obviously, when you were going to the university, you were
Yeah.
incurring cost. So on an annual basis, if the fee is 10,000 pounds, you might be incurring going in and out of the university, having time, 1,000
Yep.
pounds per month, roughly,
Yeah.
something,
Yep.
right? So we're talking about 30 plus 30 over time you spent and everything, right? And then 10,000 for masters, again 10,000, again another one because of your expenses going in and out, taking the you live in London, right?
No, Birmingham.
Birmingham. Okay,
Yeah.
Birmingham. So taking a bus or ride or whatever, right? So that's the cost. So 20,000.
Yeah.
Altogether, you spend 80,000 pounds, right?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
the hard truth, right? I'm
Yeah.
going to show you something that's very important for you to see, right? This is a student, right? He's an intermediate A levels, right? He did his AI ops with us, right? He did his AI ops. His name is Sayyid Muhammad Hamza Ahmed.
Yep.
So, he lives in Karachi. I hit this thing, application, deposit ID, whatever, right? He got admitted in a master's program,
Is it US or Canada?
US,
Leaf. US. Okay.
right? in Cleveland State University. It comes in US as one of the largest public university, of course. It's a huge one, right? The
Yeah.
fee for the Cleveland State University, is a whopping, that's the cost you have to pay, $187,000, 492. That's the
Yes.
cost of going for 4 years, paying the bachelor's, paying the fee as an international student, right?
Yes.
Everything. That comes out to be PKR 52 million rupees. Huge sum.
It is.
He did his Nafi Diploma in AI Ops. He paid this much amount. Then he paid his examination fee for EduQual. He completed his whole degree and 451,847. That comes out to around 1,400 British pounds. If you do the math,
Yeah.
1,400 British pounds, right? How much did he save? He paid just 0.086% of what a traditional degree costs. He saved 99.14%. See, this is the problem with with the immigration, with the education system nowadays, right? He got admitted. This is the condition letter. Condition letter means he has to meet these conditions, financial bank statements, everything. And then he has to pay $4,000 non-refundable. That means like if he doesn't get the visa, they will refund it. But the thing is like the reason they're asking is like to reserve a spot, right? And begin the process of visa application, you must submit a non-refundable deposit, right? The non-refundable one they means is just like mostly sometimes people do is like they get the visa and then they don't show up at the university, right? So they have to pay something. So if they get the
Yeah.
visa, this money goes to the university. If they don't get the visa, the money is paid back, right? The payment policies and instructions for further details are attached. The reason I'm showing you is, you went through the same pain, right? So one of the things I keep telling everyone is like they have to understand the landscape of education. There was an article recently in UK where your Prime Minister Starmer was saying that the universities are failing the students. The students are piling up debt. We have the jobs, but we don't have the talent to fill the market, right? You
Yeah.
know this yourself. I mean, you're a first class student, brother, like first class, mashallah. But keep this in mind that this pain will go away, inshallah,
Inshallah.
right? As you go through the process, you will become more mature and you will do all of those things, right? Inshallah. So let me share another thing with you. This person, he completed that, right? So now he's going through, and this was the original post. During this process, he has already completed his CCAT, CKA, and CCAS certifications, right? So that's a big thing for him because he wants to go into, and soon he will become a QB astronaut, right? Inshallah. So if this person goes into the market right now, you know the value of QB astronaut, right?
Yes.
So QB astronaut in itself has no meaning. But when you have the experience and everything that you get on this platform, that's what prepares you, right? So I've been very busy in many things. And one of the things is just like university collaboration and whatnot. So I just wanted to show you that if someone comes to you and say, I just want to do a degree, tell them if you want to pile up the debt, by all means, go and do it. But if you want to go into the job market and at the same time enjoy the benefits of having a degree, then there's a pathway for you, right?
Yes.
Inshallah. Now I'm going to show something for you for your benefit, right? Inshallah. Okay. So if we go here and select quantum computing, right? I want to show you something first, right? The Shor's logarithm, I was saying, right? So we do have a presentation of Shor's logarithm that we give it to our students who are going through the process right now. Let me select that. Hold on. Amir, Riaz. Okay, so this presentation is only available through Al Razak program, right? So when you go in and you select that I want to study Al-Razak, and these are my, things that I want to go in for, then they will give you this presentation. This presentation is basically walks you through the whole Shor's logarithm, unlocking the quantum, right? Factoring revolution. It walks you through the whole process. It gives you, the guide, the introduction, the qubit, the principles, the importance of factorization. This is the guy, Peter Shor, right? He looks like Jack Black, right?
Mhm.
Right? In Minecraft. And if you compare him like with that, like, he pretty much resembles the step-by-step process of how it happens. Shor's logarithm, classical factorization number and field safe. So all of these things you can see, like, how complex these things are getting, so on and so forth, right? Computational power, practical implementation and challenges, all of these things are mentioned. You will get access to these things in your Al-Razak program. Now, what is Al-Razak program? I keep on emphasizing this thing for the students so that they understand the need. You will not get access to the videos in AI Ops, but you will get access to the videos in your Al-Razak program, because AI Ops only covers what is required by EduQual. So EduQual has its own requirements, and we teach you those requirements, right? But there are two parts of Al-Razak. There's Al-Razak Part 1 and Al-Razak Part 2. Now, we do have for foundation programs, O-level programs, dual diploma, we have now Al-Razak for everyone, even for the school grades, right? They are given early access on coding, computer science, math, emerging technologies, all of those things. For you, you need to make sure your registration is active. You already have passed the examination fee, right? So if a person logs in and pays the examination fee, they get access to Al-Razak. We are adding more and more new technologies, more and more new things, right? Complete the KYC process via alnafi.com/KYC. This is something you have to complete. You have to go back over there and complete the process, right? It will look into your academic background, your professional goals, geographic preferences, industry focus. We will collect all that data for you, from you, so that we can start working. Al-Razak Labs is a one-stop connection for you. You don't have to do anything. Everything will be ready for you. There are different kinds of labs, but only AI Ops give you access to Al-Nafi Core Integration Framework. Al-Nafi Core Integration Framework is only for AI Ops, right? So you will get access to AI, ML, cybersecurity, and cloud data. But at the same time, if you want to go for quantum computing, then you can work in that as well. There's finance, defense, and pharma. People are looking like crazy. They're looking for, at a very accelerated pace for talent who knows quantum computing, right? These are all the things. The labs are based on set up, implement, manage, troubleshoot, secure, report, document, entrepreneurship spirit, right? The labs there are different kinds of labs. The labs start from basic to advanced, basic, intermediate, advanced, and challenge. So that will push you to the limit. Okay. If you want to go for the quantum labs, we will give you some of the labs in level 5, not all of them, right?
Okay.
We will give you some, don't worry. But in my view, you should focus squarely on getting the labs done and going for the job. Even if I just search online right now, right? In quantum computing, there are some very, very good jobs. You know the topic, you know some of the implementation. If you brush up some of the skills, you can go and apply for them. And if you want to go right now, the resume needs to be updated, by the way. You need to update the resume, okay? But if you want to go right now, even to Saudi Arabia or UAE, there's a huge potential for you. They just signed trillions of dollars with US in terms of bringing in all the hardware and the software to the Middle East, countries. Saudi is going to spend trillions of dollars in terms of developing its economy towards being a futuristic service-based economy. Dubai is doing the same thing, UAE. Qatar is doing the same thing. If you ask me, you have a very good opportunity of going to basically Saudi Arabia. With these grades and with these skill set, and an enhanced resume after completing Al Razak Part 2, you can go there, inshallah. Okay.
Inshallah.
So that should be your focus. Get on the labs. There will be no confusion because everything is done there. AI is there to assist you. You know how AI does? Next time I will show you the demo as well. You log onto the system. On one side, left-hand side, you will see the lab. On the right-hand side, we click on basically the container will load up for you. It's a Linux container, right? And there's a get help button. If you click on that, AI will load up for you. So as you are typing on the labs on the container, making a mistake or whatever you're doing, AI will tell you this is right or this is wrong. If you want to consult the AI, how can I make sure like I run the next command perfectly well so that I can get the results, it will tell you. If you ask AI, what was the name of the president? Like the guy with the funny hair, like Boris Johnson, right?
Yeah.
If you say like, can I dance with Boris Johnson? Then he will say, no, you can't, because this is out of my purview of telling you what to do or what not to do. But if you really want to do a dance with him, you can do that. It has a sense of humor as well, right? But anyway, the point is that it will guide you every step of the way. And it will build upon that foundation. So you will start with doing quantum basic labs, intermediate labs, advanced labs, and challenge labs. So it will push you to the limits.
Yeah.
Complete those. We give you the guarantee within the time frame that we give you the guarantee that you will be able to land on the job, inshallah. Okay,
Yeah,
because
that's what. Yeah.
those labs are designed but with the respect of the employers, right? Go ahead. You want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, I have only one thing to focus right now would be a Razak lab, because before it was just a lot of things was going on. So inshallah, I'm onto it. So this is what I can do at least 4 hour a day or 3 hours minimum. So yeah,
Even if you crack the first 100 labs or 200 labs,
yeah,
right? It's going to be very easy for you. You will be on the job, inshallah. Working as, and you have to update your resume because the labs, your new resume will reflect what labs you have done.
yeah,
That's so that when you go for the interview, if they ask you for writing a script, a bash script or a PowerShell script or a Python, script or whatever you want to do, or for the infrastructure as a code and all of these aspects, it will be covered. There are 22 things that we cover in our Al Razak program, right? There are altogether 22. So these are all the things that we cover. If you want to, see that, I can show that to you next time, inshallah, when I'm online. I have to wrap this up. So anyway, focus on the labs, Amir. You have a lot of
inshallah.
time, inshallah. And there is no stopping you once you get into the market, inshallah.
Yep,
Okay?
yep.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
I had question, but I forgot. Just can't remember. I might ask a little next time. I can't remember right now.
Anytime, inshallah. You have my number. You can always
Yeah.
reach out to me, inshallah. I will try my level best to answer those, inshallah. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Jazakallah khair. Congratulations in terms of passing, 90%. May Allah give you more success. And inshallah,
Alhamdulillah.
see you soon. Okay? Jazakallah khair.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.